let's just jump straight into the loved ones visit. I never thought that the loved ones visit was that big a deal. Like, my mindset going into this game was, I want $1 million, you know? But having played back to back, I had this really strange experience when I came home from season 33. I had a 1.5 week break, essentially. My mom picked me up from the airport, and the first thing she said to me when I got in the car was, Michaela, I was supposed to go to visit you, but then they called me and said you're not going. And I had already bought my suitcase and everything was packed. My mom was so excited about the loved ones visit on season 33. She had told whoever she could at the church that she was going on vacation. She had bought a new suitcase, y'all. She had new clothes, I guess. She was super excited, to the point that when she got the call that she would not be going on the loved ones visit, and that was the quote that she said. She said, so and so called and said, you will not be traveling for the loved ones visit. So my mom thought it was canceled, but I knew I got voted out. And it just, if being voted out of Survivor is not enough turmoil, just to come home to a mother disappointed, like for her to be excited and then for the excitement to be pulled away because I couldn't deliver on my piece, that hurt me so bad. So a big thing this season for me was to enjoy those milestones. The milestone of the merge. You know, again, season 33, I didn't give a rip about the merge. I wanted $1 million. The merge was just what stood in between me and $1 million, right? But I learned to appreciate those different mile markers in the game because, you know, as I saw in season 33 with that blind side, not one day is promised unless you got something around your neck. So, you know, it was really cool to give my mom that experience, and it was great, you know, for her to have a vacation at my expense, I guess. And she was just so happy and so excited. And on top of the feeling of being able to give her that experience, what was also really cool was just for the first time in a really long time, having somebody that actually knew me. And just that feeling of being known and being understood. You know, this is one person on this island now that does not think I'm conniving, that knows I'm not stupid, that knows that I can have a temper, but I'm not unreasonably angry. You know, a person that knows the good things about me and believes them. And just having that is what made that loved ones visit so special. So I've already been teased enough about my ugly cry, so please don't feel the need to remind me, which is why I don't cry often in real life, because I know I look bad. If ever I feel like crying, I just go to the mirror, and when I see that face breaking out, I'm like, no ma'am, not today. So that was a loved ones visit. It was great. My mom really enjoyed watching that on TV, and you know, she'll be at the finale if all goes well. So anywho, that loved ones visit was cool. Somebody asked me, did I see my reaction at the end of the loved ones visit? Yeah, I was hot, just angry. That feeling of wanting to win and being fully capable. This was, again, an athletic type challenge, the type of stuff I like, right? But the problem is I'm tethered to a person who that's not his strength. You know, we're dragging Ty around through this challenge, and it was just frustrating. I felt like Harriet Tubman trying to lead a slow slave to freedom over there with Ty at the end of my tether. But what was funny, that challenge was when I realized my strength. Like, it's so crazy to be walking around on the island day to day. You're exhausted. Like, I'd be exhausted. I didn't even want to move. I started walking with a cane at a certain point because it just walking to the well, like strategize right here. We don't need to walk to the well to talk every single time because that's too much walking, right? But somehow in those challenges for me, like, something would flip And energy that I didn't have all day, now all of a sudden I have it. And I really enjoyed those moments. But after that challenge, I kicked the little box that we were trying to open, and the box actually busted wide open. Like, it was a hole in it. I didn't even realize it. I saw Sarah and Ty being like, look, Michaela, look. I looked down, the box is busted wide open. And I thought it was funny. Because who has enough energy to bust a box? Apparently me. So anywho, I was upset about not winning that challenge. I wasn't really upset about not getting to spend time with my mom, because I knew what camp was like. Camp's nasty, you know. I don't need Candy Bradshaw walking around in bugs, getting his shoes all dusty. You know, we smell bad. That's not really my style. But what I did want, I wanted the food. Y'all, I don't know what day we're on. We're day 30 something. And I've had literally no food since the merge. I've had coconuts and the little pieces of fish that Brad allows me to eat. That's all I've had. So at this point, food is crucial. Like, these people that are winning different challenges and got all this energy to be running around, you can draw a direct correlation between the people who have energy to be running around at camp and the people who've been on rewards. And me, as a person who has been on no rewards at this point, I just don't have the energy for it. So I was looking forward to some type of food, and I was promised by a certain someone, I won't indicate which someone it was, but I was promised by someone that, quote, the next reward challenge I go on, I will pick you. So I'm sitting here looking at this opportunity for someone to build some trust with me, because I've never really had the lion's share of friends in this game. And I'm in need of an alliance, but some people, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. And I didn't want to be that person that just because I don't really care for you, I'm not going to align with you, because I know that's not the most sensible thing. So this person had an opportunity, and, you know, in my mind, I knew this person was lying when they said that. However, in my heart, I wanted them to be telling the truth. And as you saw, I was not selected. So that was a devastating piece. So fast forward, gives me time with other people to sit there and talk. And so I sit in the water and chitter chat, and I start just, you know, peeping other people's minds and figuring out what we can do and what we'd like to do. But at the end of the day, I consulted my fingers, since I learned not to consult with seashells, and I realized that it's not in my best interest at this moment in time to be rocking the boat, particularly with people who are not my friends. So Sierra ended up going home. I was not at all sad about it. Now, let's see. What else we got here? Couple questions. Someone asked me, how do I feel about my edit at this point? I feel that my edit is pretty accurate. I feel like they show my happy moments, my strong moments, my isolated moments, my angry moments. You know, I'm a human. I have a wide range of emotions, and some of them, they're not extreme, but they're real. You know, we don't want to admit that as professional young adults we get angry, but the word anger wouldn't be in the dictionary if it wasn't a genuine emotion that some people feel. And sometimes I am angry. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that being shown, because it is a part of me. I have the ability to get angry. I have the ability to be intelligent. I have the ability to do a lot of things. So I think everything's accurate, but also keep in mind that the edit has to match with what happens towards the end of the game, but also people's opinions of you towards the end of the game. So some people may not be happy with their edit because they had a different opinion of themselves than everyone else has them, and that just is what that is. Why did I wear shoes in the challenge? Because there's coral in that water, and if one of the producer people says you can choose whether to wear your shoes, but if I were you, I'd wear shoes, I'm wearing shoes. I don't need, my feet were already hard and crusty out there. I don't need any cuts on the bottom of my feet. Someone asked a question about my resume at this point in the game. It may kind of look like I'm just going with the flow with certain things. Am I a part of conversations? I am a part of conversations with certain people. So the way this game's working right now is there might be an alliance, right? So let's say there's 6 people in the alliance, but all 6 people are not coming to a consensus for the same reasons. You have your pieces of the 6, right? So hypothetically, let's go back and say, okay, let's say when the 6 was Debbie, Ty, Troyzan, Brad, Sierra, and Sarah. I think that was a 6, right? So you had Brad and Sierra were thinking, were 2 brains on the same body. You had Troyzan, who was brought in to that alliance by those 2, right? So Troyzan was kind of like a silent partner, but he's part of that little situation. Then you had a situation with Debbie and Sierra. So again, here's another pair, and Ty was kind of brug into that. Brug, is that a word? Brought? Brug. He was brought into that via Debbie. Sarah was kind of roped in as a 6, and that's kind of, I guess, via Sierra. I don't know exactly how that one happened because I was not a part of that situation. So again, it's not 6 people coming together in unison. It's these 2 people talk, and I'm part of this pair, but I also talk to this person. And these 2 people talk, and he's part of that pair, but he also talks to that person. So at this point, the person I can communicate freely with is Sari. I can also communicate openly to an extent with Sarah. Certain people, if you just watch, you'll see that there are certain people you never see me talking to, because those people don't talk to me. And if we're voting together at this point in time, that doesn't mean that we're working together. That just means you know her and I know her. Like, we have some mutual friends. So that's my place. But the cool thing about it, even though I don't talk fully openly with a ton of people, it's gotten to the point in the game where certain people will speak around me. So even though I'm choosing not to put any of my thoughts into that conversation, I'm able to get some type of handle on what's happening or what other people are feeling because I'm just listening. Whereas at the beginning of the game, people wouldn't talk around me. So I, what was going on, I could only go on based on what I saw and who I saw talking together. So that's kind of where I am at this game. I thought about my resume, but honestly, you need to think about your resume, but you need to get to the end. And that's the thing that matters. In Millennials versus Gen X, I felt like I didn't have many friends on the millennial side, but at Ikabula, I made the mistake of articulating exactly what I would say had I got to Final Tribal Council. And I realized that, 1, all I did was make people afraid of me. But 2, you can find a way to spin any situation. So at this point in the game, my whole thing is find a way to get to the end. And me, I know that I'm an articulate person. I can figure out a way to articulate what I want if I'm find myself at the final 3. So, and a great example of that is Tasha from Second Chances. If you look at Tasha's final jury speech in Second Chances, it's very relevant, right? And so, yeah, I do run the risk, based on what you've seen at this game, of being seen as just a person who did okay in challenges and whatever. And there's always one person that kind of gets painted in that light, but it's all about who's on the jury and how you're able to articulate that and what other information that you can provide if you find yourself at that final 3 spot. But it's not worth, you don't have enough brain power to be thinking about that right now. So, it is what it is, but we'll see. So this week's episode of Survivor is going to be a double elimination episode. It's going to be crazy. You don't want to miss any eliminations from this point forward. There might be one whack one, but from now to the end of the game, you're going to be like, so I'm looking